You're eating a sandwich when you find the end of the world. Not dramatically, not with alarms or flashing lights or anyone running down the hallway screaming. Just you, a turkey sandwich, a cold cup of coffee, and a number on a screen that doesn't make sense. You check it again. Same number. You run the calculation a third time because that's what you do when something is wrong. You're careful. You've always been careful. It's why they hired you. It's why you've worked the night shift at this observatory for 11 years without a single error in your reports. The number doesn't change. You put down your sandwich. The object was first logged 4 months ago as routine space debris. Someone flagged it, someone else cleared it, and it moved down the list the way things move down lists when nobody thinks they matter. You pull up the original file. The calculations from 4 months ago are wrong. Not slightly wrong. Catastrophically wrong. Someone made an error in the trajectory model. A small one. The kind of mistake that looks fine at first glance and only reveals itself when you run the full simulation forward. You run the full simulation forward. The object is 2.3 kilometers wide. It is moving at 28 kilometers per second. And in exactly 6 days, 14 hours and 32 minutes, it will enter Earth's atmosphere at an angle that gives it zero chance of skipping off into space. It is coming straight down. You stand up from your chair. You sit back down. You stand up again. You pick up your phone to call your supervisor. Then you stop. You put the phone down. You run the simulation one more time. Same result. You call your supervisor. He answers on the first ring. It's 3 a.m. Nobody answers on the first ring at 3 a.m. unless they were already awake. Unless they were waiting. You tell him what you found. You walk him through the numbers. You explain the original error, the corrected trajectory, the impact window. You speak carefully, clearly, the way you always speak when something is important. He is quiet for a long time. Then he says, "Come into the office. Don't tell anyone what you found. Don't write it down. Don't send it anywhere. Just come in." You ask him why. He says, "Just come in." You drive to the government research facility 30 minutes away. The one attached to your observatory that you've never been allowed inside. The one with the parking lot that's always empty when you arrive for your shift and always has 3 black cars in it when you leave. Tonight there are 12 cars. A man you have never seen before meets you at the door. He knows your name. He knows your employee number. He knows you've worked the night shift for 11 years. He walks you down a hallway and into a room with a screen on the wall showing the same simulation you ran an hour ago. Except this one is more detailed, more refined. This one has a date stamp from 4 months ago. They've known for 4 months. The man in the suit sits across from you. He folds his hands on the table. He explains it calmly, the way you might explain a business decision. 4 months ago, a team of 12 scientists confirmed the impact. They ran every possible scenario, every intervention option, every deflection technology, every nuclear solution that exists. None of them work. Not in 6 days. Not with what exists right now. There is no solution. So they made a decision. The people at the very top of 12 governments made a decision together. No public announcement. No warning. The math was simple, he says. If you tell 8 billion people they have 6 days to live, you don't get 6 days of peace. You get 6 days of the worst thing humans have ever done to each other. Riots. Wars accelerated. Every nuclear weapon on Earth fired by someone who figures if they're gonna die anyway they might as well burn it all down first. Silence, he says, saves more lives than the truth. You sit there. You think about your daughter. She's 7. She's asleep right now in her bed at home with the nightlight on because she's afraid of the dark. She has 6 days left and she doesn't know. You ask him what happens now. He says you go home. You live your 6 days. You don't tell anyone. You ask what happens if you do tell someone. He looks at you for a long time. He says, "We've had this conversation with 3 other people. None of them are a problem anymore." You go home. You sit in your car in your driveway for 40 minutes. The lights in your house are off. Your daughter is asleep. Your ex-wife is asleep in the apartment across town where she moved 18 months ago. The neighbors are asleep. The whole street is asleep. Everyone is asleep and none of them know. You go inside. You open your laptop. You start typing. You have the coordinates, the trajectory data, the original file, the corrected simulation. You have everything. You upload it to 3 different platforms simultaneously. The first one is taken down in 4 minutes. The second one in 7. The third one you watch disappear in real time. The post exists and then it doesn't. Like it was never there. Like you never typed it. You try a journalist you trust. Someone you went to college with who works for a major newspaper now. You send the files to her personal email. You watch the delivery confirmation appear. Then you watch it unsend. You didn't unsend it. You watched it unsend itself. Your phone buzzes. Unknown number. We asked you not to do that. You look out your window. Down the street, parked just far enough away to look casual. A black car sits with its engine off and its lights off. It wasn't there when you pulled in. You close your laptop. You take your daughter from school the next morning. You sign her out at the front desk and the woman at the desk smiles and asks if everything is okay and you say yes, just a family day. Your daughter runs out of her classroom with her backpack bouncing and she asks where you're going and you say anywhere she wants. She says the aquarium. You spend 4 hours at the aquarium. She presses her hands against the glass of the shark tank and her eyes go wide and she looks at you and says, "Dad, look," and you look and you say, I see it, it's amazing. You don't tell her. You drive to your mother's house that evening. You sit at her kitchen table and drink the coffee she makes that's always too strong and you let her talk. She talks about the garden, the neighbor's dog, a show she's been watching, normal things, small things, the kind of things that only feel small when you're counting the days. You don't tell her either. That night you lie on your daughter's floor while she sleeps. You listen to her breathe. The night light makes everything orange and warm. 3 days left. You have been thinking about this since the room with the screen. The man in the suit wasn't wrong. You know that. You've run the math yourself. If you tell the world doesn't get to say goodbye. The world gets to panic. The world gets to destroy itself slightly faster than the asteroid will. But here's what keeps you awake. Your daughter deserves to know. Not the whole world necessarily, but your daughter, your mother, your ex-wife who you still love even though you're not supposed to. The people who should get to decide how they spend the last days of their lives. The people who should get to say the things they always meant to say. They deserve to choose. You pick up your phone. You call your ex-wife first. It's 2 a.m. She answers, worried, asking if your daughter is okay. You say she's fine. She's asleep. I just need to tell you something. You tell her to sit down. Then you tell her. She doesn't speak for a long time. Then she says, "Is she scared?" You say no. She doesn't know. Your ex-wife says, "Then let's make sure she isn't." You don't know if the black car is still watching your street. You stop checking. You spend the first day at home. Your ex-wife comes over. Your daughter thinks it's the best surprise of her life. You order every food she loves. You watch every movie she picks. You let her stay up until midnight, and when she finally falls asleep on the couch between you and her mother, you and your ex-wife sit there in the quiet and you don't say anything because there isn't anything to say that matters more than this. The second day you drive to the coast. Your daughter runs into the ocean in her clothes because she didn't want to wait to change. She comes out soaked and laughing and she looks at you like the world is the most wonderful thing that has ever existed. You think about the man in the suit. You think about the 3 people who aren't a problem anymore. You think about the black car. None of it feels as real as this. The third day your daughter asks you why you keep looking at her like that. You tell her it's because she's your favorite person in the world. She rolls her eyes the way 7-year-olds do and says, "Dad, stop being weird."